Hello and welcome, I am your Code Monkey, and in this video we're going to make a camera follow system. We're going to build a class that can move the camera towards a target position. This position can be the player, but it can also be anything else like an NPC or just a random point. So we could make a cutscene where the camera pans to a specific point and then goes back to the player. Okay, let's get started. Okay, I have a scene here with a movable player that I can move with the arrow keys and two NPCs that are moving between waypoints and a secondary point that I can move independently. Okay, so let's start by creating a new C# script and call it camera follow. Open the script, and now on our update we're going to move the camera towards our position. So camera follow position, let's just make a new vector3 just above. We want to make sure that we keep the same Z position, so camera follow position dot Z equals transform dot position dot Z. Okay, and transform dot position equals camera follow position. Now we add this to our main camera, and when we run, the camera should be moved upwards. Yep, there it is, slightly above. So instead of having the position in here, we're going to make a public void setup that will receive our vector3 camera follow position. And we're going to store it in here. So on our game handler, we're going to add a reference to our camera follow script. And on start, simply do camera follow dot setup, and now let's just push it downwards. Okay, so add the reference, and the camera should now be shifted down. Yep, there it is. Great. Okay, so obviously we don't want the camera to follow a fixed point, but rather to always update the point that it's following. So instead of getting a fixed vector3, we're going to go into the system namespace and grab a func that will return a vector3 and call it get camera follow position func. Now a func is just a delegate that returns, in this case, a vector3. So this is what we're going to receive on our setup. And in here we're going to have vector3 camera follow position, which will contain the result from that function. And now in here, instead of sending it that, we're going to send our position as a function. So right now it should still be moving downwards, but we can update. Yep, it's pointing down. So now let's choose something that actually changes. So add a reference to our player transform, and here, instead of sending a fixed vector, we're going to send our player transform dot position. So let's compile and add the reference to our player, and now the camera should be following the player. I can move the player with the arrow keys, and yep, the camera is updating every frame, going exactly where the player is. Great. So as you can see, the movement is exact. Every frame it updates exactly to where the player is, which might be good, but doesn't look very smooth. Especially if we move the player quickly, it looks quite janky. So let's add some smoothing to our camera movement. So in here on our camera follow, instead of setting the position directly, let's get a direction that we're going to move the camera towards. So camera move there is going to be our camera follow position minus our current position dot normalize. Okay, so we got our direction. We need float for our current distance. So let's get the distance between the camera follow position and our current position. And let's add a float for our camera move speed, and let's do it just 1f for now. So instead of setting our current position, we're going to set to our position plus our camera move direction times the distance, so that we move faster the further away we are, times the camera move speed times time.delta time, so that this movement is independent of the current frame rate. So let's test it and see if the camera follows the player smoothly. Yep, there it is. I can move the player and the camera no longer has that janky movement. Great. So now this code actually has a slight problem here, which is what happens when time.delta time is actually very large, which happens when the game is running at a very low frame rate. We can test this out by increasing the move speed and just decreasing our application.target frame rate and just make it run at 5 frames per second. And in this way, when the camera updates, it's going to constantly overshoot the target. So as you can see there, the player is stopped, but the camera is shifting back and forth because it's moving so much in each exact frame that it never actually stops where it should. So let's fix this problem by making sure that the camera never overshoots its target. So in here, first of all, we're only going to move it if the distance is more than 0. And when we move, we want to make a vector3 new camera position, which will be this. And we're going to have a float, which is distance after moving, which will be a vector3.distance between the new camera position and the camera follow position. So if our distance after moving is actually bigger than the distance before it moved, then we have overshot the target. So let's set the new camera position to our actual camera follow position. And in the end, finally, we do transform.position equals our new camera position. So this way, even on a low frame rate, the target should never constantly be jumping back and forth. It should no longer overshoot the target. So now here I have, and when I move the player, if the camera overshoots, it will actually correct itself and stop where it should. Okay, great. Now let's reset, make sure that the frame rate is back, and put our camera with the basic move speed of just 2f, which should be nice and smooth. Yep, there it is. Great. So let's add a new function for changing our get camera follow position func so that we can switch where the camera is actually following. So do a public void set get camera follow position func, and it's going to take that func as an argument, and we're going to pass it in. So now on our game handler, let's add some references to the other objects in our scene. So character 1 transform, character 2 transform, and manual movement transform. Well, let's just add our references in here. Okay, that's a character, character 2, and manual movement. So in here, instead of following the player, I'm going to change the get camera follow position, and I'm going to send it to actually follow character 1 dot position. So now instead of following the player, the camera should be following the first character. Yep, there it is. I can still move the player, but the camera is no longer focused on him. Okay, so now in order to make testing easier to switch between which character the camera is actually following, let's use some debug buttons using the CodeMonkey utilities. As always, you can grab the utilities from unitycodemonkey.com. So I'm going into cmdebug, create a button on the UI, put it on the right side, and call it player. This will be the button that will set the camera to actually follow the player. So the button will trigger this function that will set to follow the player. Add the various, add a button to follow the first character, the second character, and the manual character. Put the buttons beneath one another. And now the button should pop up and we should be able to click them to switch the camera's target. So right now it is following the player and I click on that one and it's now following this character. The player is still moving. I click the manual. Now I can move this one and the player and this one and follows this one. Okay, so as you can see, we can very easily switch where the camera is pointing. On the next video, we're going to add the ability to zoom in and out. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. All right, see you next time.